In the last video, we saw how to install PFSense. In this video, we will see how to configure PFSense using the web console. So the web console of PFSense can be accessed by any of the lab machines. So the external switch provides internet access to the lab machines, and the internal switch keeps all the internal lab machines together. And all the lab systems in the internal network will be communicating to the outside world using the private interface. So if we go to this Windows 10 box and connect to it, we should be able to hit the administrative interface, which will be at 192.168.1.1. So let me log in first, and we will open the Edge browser or internet browser, and we will navigate to the IP 192.168.191.1. So we saw there is two virtual switches, and we are connecting to the internal switch. So the way I know it is 192.168.1.1 is by going to the PFSense console, and the LAN is at 192.168.1.1. So you can ignore the certificate issue for now, and you can log in with the username of admin. Default password is PFSense. So it will force you to change it as we go along the wizard. So click next on this. So all these can be changed from command line or going back to this browser. So it will give you some disclaimer. Then click next. And you can change the name of the PFSense box, but let's not worry about it at this time. So the DNS server, which resolves IP to host name or domain names, is we can point it to 10.0.1.1, which is our host machine's DNS name. So if we go back to our host system and do IP config all, you can see the DNS of our host system. So we use the same DNS server to do the resolution. So any IP addresses to DNS or domain names, it will come to the host system, and that will help us resolve the IP addresses. You can also use Google's DNS server, which is 8.8.8.8. So let's also configure a time zone, and I'm going to point it to Central Region, which is in Chicago. Click next. And the WAN interface, let's leave the dhcp server because we wanted to pick an IP automatically. And I don't think you need to change anything. Maybe at the end you have to uncheck a couple of boxes, and I will show you. So we don't want to block any internal traffic at this time, so just uncheck and click on next. So for the lab, and you can have any network ranges you want, but we will just go with the defaults and click next. And this is where you put in your own password. So instead of using PFSense, this is what you will use whenever you try to log on to the web console. So once you do that, since we changed the password, you may have to log in again. So let's see if it refreshes automatically. If not, we will go to the browser and refresh. Yeah, it is asking us to log in again. And this time we put in PFSense with a new password. So there you see a WAN interface, which is the same information you see on the command window or the terminal window. So you can make changes in both places, but GUI, the graphical user interface, is better for most people. So you can do one more thing. Go to these services and go to DHCP server and uncheck the box. So we do not want PFSense to act as a DHCP server. We will be using a domain controller or the Active Directory box to provide IP addresses to the client systems. And I will show you how to do that in the next video. But for now, disable the DHCP server on PFSense and click Save.